San Antonio, and it's Ellie's second.
The spree ball goes to the basket. You see Duncan and Robinson both get a piece. That's really that's the Spurs' first block shot of the game, which is amazing. And then Larry Johnson blocks one down on the other end of Duncan. That's their third block.
And New York turns it over. Robinson to that hook, but it comes up short.
We've had 4 possessions. Neither team's hit the rim yet here to start this third period. Make it 5.
A New York turnover as Robinson steals it. Duncan can't put a stop to it. Houston crossover. Deals it out to Spree. Well, there's a whistle before Spree's shot. It's foul number 3 on Sean Elliott as the second half starts in ragged fashion.
Well, see, if you're in New York, the one thing you don't want to do is burn up a lot of energy here and get nothing accomplished. You've got to be able to put some points on the board. Jaren Jackson now is going to step in for Sean Elliott. Remember now, here's a guy who hit 2 for 2 from the three-point line at 6 points off the bench. Ellie and Elliott combined for nothing.
Johnson, Duncan on him, fakes the jumper, goes to the drive, misses with the left hand, and Robinson is there to clear it. Avery Johnson bounces to the driving Jaren Jackson, and San Antonio has the first points of the half.
How often have we seen that? Ellie and Elliott 0 for 5 in the first half. They did 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Now Jaren Jackson with 8 points. It's like timely shooting by somebody all playoffs.
Charlie Ward into the lane. Running one-hander, spins out. Duncan rebounds, outlets to Avery Johnson. Cut off by Allen Houston. Jaren Jackson hoists up a 3, and suddenly he's hot again.
There's the same start that we saw in the third quarter. Now the game has gone from 2 to 7, and Jeff Van Gundy's got to be very, very upset. Their offensive efficiency has been awful, but more importantly, Jaren Jackson, they've not gotten back to him. You see the animation there on Jeff Van Gundy, very upset. How can you leave Jaren Jackson? Jaren Jackson runs the floor, lays the ball in the basket, and this guy's sort of their wild card. If he's shooting the ball well, fine. If he's not, they take him out of the game. And here it is once again, Bob, the kick out. Allen Houston way too far away from him, in no position to help, and he buries a 3. So 5 quick points here from Jaren Jackson.
In fact, their last 8 dating back to the end of the second quarter for the eliminator.
So that's right. And you see their 23-8 run. And remember, we talked about the droughts of New York. They just don't have enough firepower to fight through.
San Antonio on the run. Here's Mario Ellie, and he's clobbered by Larry Johnson. That's 3 on Johnson.
San Antonio is a tremendous defensive team, and they chase you off shots and they run you into shot blocking, and that's what's happened right now. And Jeff Van Gundy with a very concerned look on his face, because Bob, in the open we said one of the things they're going to have to do is score, figure out this San Antonio defense, and right now they're putting a hammer down on them.
Mario Ellie, named, and this is true, for the opera singer Mario Lanza. And the whole tenor of this game has changed as the Spurs have now scored 13 unanswered points dating back to the second quarter.
Now a 9-0 run, identical to game 4, so bad start here by New York.
Johnson. The block will be on San Antonio. Stopping the clock with 8:50 to play in the third, and the Knicks still scoreless in this period. David Robinson with his first foul. After 3 minutes and 10 seconds of the third, the Knicks have scored.
Bob, I'm looking here at Jaren Jackson. I'm thinking, this is a great guy you want to have on your team. When you've played for 8 teams in the league and been kicked around, missing a few jump shots is not going to keep you from shooting the basketball. And tonight, he's sort of been the difference in this game right now as they've taken the lead.
And here's Charlie Ward sneaking in and poking it away from Duncan. So the Knicks have it back. Houston hits the 3 and misses it. Duncan out to Avery Johnson. Jaren Jackson. Ellie and Robinson playing a 2-man game. The Admiral with the hook. And Ward with the rebound. Here's Houston to the hoop for the first field goal for the Knicks.
See, New York will be able to score if they can stop them and run. But remember, they made their last 6 shots of the first half. When you're taking the ball out of the basket, you can't run. The defense is back.
Duncan out high, 5 on the 24. 3 seconds to shoot. They swing it to the side for Jackson. And a shot clock violation. He wanted the foul. The shot wound up being an air ball. And the Knicks get it back.
Again, New York has got to find a way to score. They've got to come down, attack this defense. See if Allen Houston can make something happen here.
Larry Johnson out to Sprewell. Johnson has it back, spinning on Duncan. Houston. It's a 2. He wasn't quite behind the line. A tough shot brings the Knicks to within 4. And now San Antonio wants time.
I thought New York was very fortunate on that possession. They did a lot of holding of the ball, a lot of standing around. And Allen Houston bailed them out with a big shot. But, Bob, when you get some stops on the defensive end, you can run. Allen Houston is out running. And if you notice, Tim Duncan is slow getting back, so it's 2 smaller players back on defense. No shot blocking. You lower your head, you take that ball to the basket. And then Larry Johnson with a little whirling dervish. He kicks it out of the double team. Allen Houston actually with a hand in his face. The shot clock down to 1. He buries it. The lead is down to 4. Watching the NBA Finals on NBC.
Use it anytime you'd like, my man. I got a spare key. After the timeout. Spurs up 4. Knicks have scored 5 unanswered points. Here's Duncan. Ball squirts free. Duncan reclaims it. 5 seconds to shoot. Avery Johnson leans in, but can't hit. Sneaking in for the steal, though, is Mario Ellie. Jackson feeling it. Misses the 3 this time. Sprewell with the rebound. Charlie Ward looking for Houston, who's been hot.
Stepped out of bounds.
He was on the sideline before the shot.
Wow, we got to remember that. That would have made it a 1-point game. Allen Houston, watch his back foot now as he tries to gather himself. This is what happens a lot of times on that sideline. You step out, that would have made it a 1-point game. Keep our eye on this little swing here.
Jaren Jackson on the drive. And he traveled.
He got caught in the air, and he wanted to pass it, but his feet came down on the floor before he got rid of the basketball. And that was caused because Marcus Camby came over to challenge his shot. Watch his feet now as he goes in the air, and watch his feet. They'll hit the floor, then he tries to pass it. Too late, traveling violation.
Johnson to Camby. Marcus Camby missing on the run. Duncan will take it. And a shot clock violation.
See, this is one of the rules I'd like to see change. Duncan had possession of that ball. I would like to see him just play on. Rather than be a 24-second violation. The Spurs have it. Just keep playing. No need to stop it there.
Ball didn't draw iron,
Absolutely.
so technically a 24-second violation. Houston knocks it away from Ellie. Spurs ball, 8 on the 24.
Well, Tim Duncan very upset there on that roll. He wanted Jackson to throw that ball high to the rim, and he let him know, get that ball up there. Larry Johnson can't defend me.
Jaren Jackson out to Avery Johnson. 3 seconds to shoot. Avery has it stripped away by Charlie Ward. Here come the Knicks. Sprewell.
I would say this is a pretty powerful finish, and again, it's done off a steal. That's 5 turnovers now for Avery Johnson in the ball game, and Latrell Sprewell just ignites this crowd. He takes off. The powerful finish. See, those big guys aren't back on defense, Bob. When you can get out and run like that, you keep those shot blockers out of the game. New York needs more of that.
3-point play, 1-point game. Foul was on Jaren Jackson, his first.
Boy, just about the time it looks like New York's going to be knocked out of it, they fight back. We've seen this the entire series.
8 straight Knickerbocker points. Duncan can't put a stop to it. The rebound to Sprewell. Weaving his way through a whole pack of Spurs and finally giving it up to Ward, but not for long. New York has the lead. Sprewell with 15.
What heart this team is showing. Tremendous courage. Their energy, their defense is lifted right now. San Antonio playing a half-court game.
10-0 New York run. Mario Ellie sets on 3 and a big one for San Antonio.
Wow, that quiets the crowd right there. Goes from now a 1-point deficit up 2. Mario Ellie, we've seen him do that so very often in playoffs. Big shots when he was with Houston and they won championships.
Houston shoots over Ellie. Can't tie it. Robinson got good position but couldn't score. Sprewell, who seems to be everywhere, grabs the rebound, brings it up, pops the shot, ties the game.
This guy's unbelievable. When he gets on one of those rolls, he might make 6 in a row and then miss his next 8 shots. But Camby's doing a great job on David Robinson, challenging every shot in the low post.
50-50, and San Antonio loses it. Here comes Charlie Ward all the way. Knicks have the lead.
New York wants to run, but to do it, they have to defend. Charlie Ward gets a great steal, throws it ahead, and Sprewell, this was the 3-point play. Look at the eyes as he goes to the basket. Then Latrell Sprewell once again on that baseline. He's everywhere right now. Larry Johnson finds him. Who's guarding this man? You've got to get close to him. And once again, Latrell Sprewell comes off the screen and roll. The big man slow getting there, and Latrell Sprewell pulling up and knocking the shot down. But the defense has been able to trigger this entire thing. And then Charlie Ward finishes it off with a terrific run here that's given New York a 2-point lead. Ward with a layup. The lane parts. San Antonio has to call timeout. The Knicks are surging.
Mario Ellie looked like he got caught between. He didn't know whether to go to Ward or stay with his own man Houston, who was on the wing.
Well, you know what I do in that situation? I make Ward score because you don't want to let Houston get a layup, Bob. So you go to a guy who's not a threat offensively. You try to keep Allen Houston as quiet as possible.
This is Spike Lee going at it with Mario Ellie, who is this year's substitute for Reggie Miller. And Ellie will jaw a little bit now.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a little bit more convivial than Reggie and Spike.
about the shot clock. The San Antonio Spurs want the shot clock added to the other end of the floor where the Knicks are shooting. They feel it's an unfair advantage for the Knicks to be able to locate the clock exactly where it is all the time, and a disadvantage for them to have it down on the court. The people at Madison Square Garden now will wheel the shot clock back out. It has been determined. Greg Popovich said he really didn't think it was fair to continue. Joey Crawford said it's fair for now. We will continue until we get it hooked up. When we get it hooked up, that's exactly when we'll put it on. I'm not trying to be unfair to anybody. Bob?
And at that point, they'll turn off the clock above the Knicks basket. We play on. Robinson out of the double to Jackson, who's feeling it, but not this time. Line drive rebound taken on a hop by Houston. He leads Sprewell. Back to Houston around Elliott. Here's his jumper going. Houston has 16. Duncan double team, scores anyway, plus the foul.
Houston is doing a wonderful job. This little pull-up jump shot, we've seen it the entire series. Realizes one more dribble, he gets himself in trouble because David Robinson is standing there. And Bob, in this last possession, when Tim Duncan scored, he and Robinson were 0 for 6 in this quarter, so that's his first field goal. His and Robinson's first 3 points of the quarter. They now trail by 1.
Three-point play after Kurt Thomas's third foul. Inside 2 minutes to play in the third. Latrell Sprewell. They had him surrounded. He scored anyway.
Well, he's one of those guys, it doesn't matter. You can put 2 guys on him. When he starts getting this kind of energetic run, you just got to hope that he cools off.
He's got 19, 9 of them in this period.
See, look at that clock get down against him right now. This is where San Antonio gets themselves in trouble. Starts standing around.
5 seconds to shoot. Duncan will. And he banks it home from long range.
I guess you can stand around, but when you got that guy, he sort of erases any kind of trouble you get yourself into. 5 straight points by Duncan now.
Here's Houston into the lane, but he traveled. It is not fair or accurate to compare anyone to Michael Jordan, but remember how, when the Bulls' offense, sophisticated as it was, bogged down, you could always just go to Michael. That's sort of the case here.
But what Kurt Thomas has got to do with that clock wound down, he's got to make him put that ball on the floor. That's his shot. Now he's got to crowd him. There you go. Now get help from the weak side.
But don't foul him.
That's right.
Duncan has shot free throws extremely well in this final.
Well, you see the first time in the finals. It was Michael's 7th season. He averaged a little over 31. It's Duncan's 2nd. He's averaging a little over 26. So these guys obviously are the main men. And once again, Spurs have taken the advantage by 1. Bob, I think with all the run and everything that New York has done, they need to give a lead here going into this 4th period. 23
for Duncan. San Antonio by 1. Sprewell gets his man off his feet and scores again. Sprewell is 5 for 5 in this quarter. Sean Elliott deals to Malik Rose, and there's a New York foul. If it's Thomas, it's his 5th, and it is.
What's this up and under fake here by Sprewell? He's been hitting every shot. Sean Elliott becomes a member of the paratrooper club there when he tries to go for that block. And Sprewell says, I'm not there anymore. I'm going to hit the little jumper.
Thomas out with the 5 fouls. Chris Dudley back. And Rose misses. Kurt Thomas, who had been a demon on the boards through the first 3 games, had only 2 rebounds in 19 minutes of Game 4, has 3 rebounds and 5 fouls in 19 minutes to this point in Game 5.
Well, they need him out there because he can make that little medium-range jump shot. And we know Dudley's a good defender, but he struggles on the offensive end.
Tie game at 58.
Now, the reason Antonio Daniels is in the game and not Steve Kerr is because with all the pressure in the backcourt, he's their second-best ball handler, and he can get them into their offense. Kerr cannot do that.
Sprewell, scorching hot. Doesn't stay that way. Dudley rebounds, but before he can put it back in, a loose ball foul on him. His second.
You know, most guys who expend this kind of energy in this kind of quarter with Sprewell, you'd think fatigue could be a factor, Bob. This guy, fatigue is not going to be a factor as Dudley gets the push in the back. But this guy's not even breathing. I mean, he says, get me the ball. We got 10 seconds to go. I'll get us another basket here when we go in this fourth period. Chris Dudley's going to come over the back here. Watch his left arm there. That's a little bit of a touch foul and a nice
that's not
little,
much.
No, and it's but you know, a nice acting job there for Duncan. It's only taken his second year to realize that he's a star. Flop a little bit, maybe you'll get that call.
No wonder Van Gundy had that pained expression on his face. Second one spills off. Spurs by 1. Last 4 seconds. Houston gets into the lane. Deals it out to Camby. Beats the buzzer, but misses. A 1-point game and 12 minutes to decide it.
Well, it looked like that quarter was slipping away. A 9-0 run to get it started. The trail Sprewell kept his team alive. 11 points. They trailed by only 1.
For the Spurs, 12 minutes to a title. For the Knicks, 12 minutes to book a flight to San Antonio. Soon-Yi and Woody, they're regulars. Matt Dillon is here. Rick Moranis on hand. He was part of the championship teams in 70 and 73. Bill Bradley. Billy Crystal here as always. A bevy of Bills. Billy Baldwin is here. And the always understated Macho Camacho, tastefully attired Matthew Modine cheering the Knicks on. San Antonio up by 1 and with the ball now. Jaren Jackson, little double pump attempt that's no good. Houston has it. Both corner clocks are on now. Here's Sprewell on his game, but Duncan gets there to block it. Spree tried to save it, but into Rose's hands. Back comes San Antonio. Antonio Daniels getting some minutes now at the start of the fourth. The clocks above each basket are off, and the corner clocks, which have been rolled onto the floor, are on. Duncan spins and hits off the glass. He's almost too good.
How good is that? The spin off the glass looks like he didn't know where he was, but if I am New York right now with David Robinson out of the game, I get that ball out of Duncan's hands. You can't let him beat you right now. Make somebody else shoot the ball.
26 for Duncan, just about his finals average. And a San Antonio foul.
But what I'm talking about, he's isolated right here. Run somebody in from behind him. You know he's going to spin. New York is too late getting there. Sprewell, and look at that shot, one-handed off the glass to give the Spurs a 3-point lead. New York offensive efficiency vital here in this fourth quarter. No empty trips.
Sprewell lays it in.
See, Sean Elliott has not been a part of their offense tonight, and as a result, defensively, Sprewell is just going at him. He's alive with energy. Sean Elliott, they need him in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Elliott's next basket will be his first. Duncan looking for Elliott, but it's off his hands. And Larry Johnson takes it. Sprewell gets the Knicks to line, and they'll come to the line.
You never want to foul a jump shooter. Sprewell, this this is the shot you want him to take right here, the little pull-up. Malik Rose hits him on the wrist. The follow-through in the three-point play. Avery Johnson's going to come back into the ball game because they need to be able to get into their offense. How much more time can Popovich buy before he brings David Robinson back in the game? He's had a good rest right now into the third quarter to start the fourth. New York back up by 2.
Sprewell with 26, matching Duncan's total. Duncan has scored 10 of the Spurs' last 11 points.
Well, they got to be careful, Bob, not to have him do it all right now. If he needs some help.
Or does he?
Wow. Wow. See, I still think as much as Jeff Van Gundy doesn't want to double team right now, you've got to get Duncan out of his game and make Antonio Daniels or somebody make a shot.
Sprewell, double-teamed, illegal defense. Illegal defense against the Spurs. That's the first call against them.
I guess it's a pretty good weapon right here. Tim Duncan, when you need a basket, you go away from the double team. Dudley with great defense. Just a high-arching jump hook. Tim Duncan keeping his team in the game. After a nice little rest, more importantly, only 3.5 game minutes, but got almost a 15-minute rest. He'll be fresh for the finish.
Here's Houston. Duncan is on him. 10 seconds to shoot. Allen Houston misses on the run. Ellie with the rebound. San Antonio looking to snap the tie. Robinson just back in. Tim Duncan from beyond the head of the key. This time he can't get it done.
Knicks need to keep running. They don't want to set up right now. That'll play into San Antonio's hands. Get something quickly.
Sprewell. When you feel it, why not? He's not really a three-point shooter, but tonight, anything goes.
Bob, if you touched him right now, he would shock you. All the electricity running through this guy's body right now tonight. He has been absolutely tremendous. Early offense. That's what you have to do against San Antonio. And who better than Latrell Sprewell? You lay off of him. He's not a three-point shooter. Well, tonight, he's shooting them from everywhere.
29 for Spree. All Ewing can do is cheer, but he can do it mightily.
Well, Latrell Sprewell has been the man tonight for New York. When they needed it most, you see he scored the last 12 points to give his team a three-point lead, and he's done it all over the floor. The little up and under, where did it go? Jump shot. The layup over Tim Duncan. The step-back jumper, he's fouled in the three-point play over Malik Rose, and then he pulls back and shoots the three to give his team a three-point lead. Only 3 of 24 in the playoff before that three. You see Sprewell 8 of 11 in the second half. And Bob, how about these numbers? 29 points, 8 of 12 free throws, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals for Latrell Sprewell.
There are 10 players on the floor, but for the last several minutes, it's been Sprewell and Duncan. Spree with the last 12 Knick points, Duncan with 12 of the Spurs' last 13, and a foul on Chris Dudley, his third.
Which man is going to get some help, though, Bob? Because you know eventually somebody else is going to have to come through. Who's going to be the wild card? Will it be Houston, Robinson? Who will it be?
Duncan again, and the same result.
See, he's getting so deep in that post. I think Jeff Van Gundy is going to have to give a little help. That's too easy there.
30 points now for Tim Duncan. Houston to Sprewell. Turns, pops, hits.
You know what this reminds me of? Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Larry Bird and Dominique Wilkins. Who missed first? Dominique, and Bird won. What a game that was.
One of the great duels in the history of the NBA. Knicks by 3. Sean Elliott. Avery Johnson on the move. The floater is good. First Spur other than Duncan to score in a long time. And again, a one-point game. looking for the hot hand. He brings it outside, intended for Johnson. Robinson, with the great agility for a big man, steals it. Duncan inside to Robinson, blocked by Dudley, but a foul. And that'll be 4 on Dudley.
David Robinson in the passing lane. It's not bad. 7-foot guy who can get in the lane, steal the ball. See David sort of hobbling, still not warmed up after he'd gotten sitting down on the bench for a while. But see, when you trap that screen, what Robinson's going to do is just post up right underneath the basket, and Duncan is such a good passer, he can find him there.
Talking about Robinson's agility, he actually was a gymnast for a while as a kid, and one time Popovich let the Spurs out of practice when on a dare, Robinson walked on his hands from under the basket to midcourt. He makes 1 of 2, but they keep the ball alive, and the Spurs retain it.
No block out that time by Camby. Allowed Elliott to step in there, see if they can count up a basket here with this.
Swatted away by Camby, who a year ago with the Raptors led the NBA in blocks per game, almost 4 a contest.
Bob, I still say the guy Sean Elliott has got to look for his shot. He's run off of it about 3 times now and passed the ball. He's got to look for his shot.
Here he is. Sprewell's on him. He takes a tough off-balance one-hander and misses it. Exactly 7 minutes left. Tied at 68. Illegal defense. And that's the second one on the Spurs, so the Knicks will shoot. Tonight, after the game and your late local news, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Included on the show, South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Then it's Late Night with Conan O'Brien, Rob Schneider, and the music of Luscious Jackson. The Tonight Show and Late Night with Conan O'Brien later on NBC. Big miss by Houston. Still tied at 68. Houston has it knocked away by Avery Johnson. Into the hands of Sprewell, though. And they still have 10 seconds to shoot. Elliott diving after it, but a loose ball foul will be called on the Spurs. And it's Elliott's 4th.
Well, that's a big call. It looked like the ball was loose, and Sprewell and Elliott both were going for it. Avery Johnson was leaking out. It looked like he had a fast break. Wow, that's a tough. I don't know where that call came from, and neither does Avery Johnson. That's 4 fouls on Sean Elliott. He will sit down. Remember, Jaren Jackson's been the man with a hot hand. Allen Houston has got to stay attached to him, not let him get a free 3.
Sprewell out of the double, finds Campbell.
Sprewell, watch him step through this double team. He steps right through it as Duncan takes a bad angle, and then Avery Johnson on the weak side has got to be inside that man who's trying to cut to the basket. Well, this could be a big possession here. Remember now, it looked like Sean Elliott had the loose ball, the 3-point play, so instead of San Antonio trying to take the lead, New York goes back up by 3.
Camby a 3-point play after Avery Johnson's 3rd foul. Knicks by 3. Mario Elliott. 6 seconds to shoot. Avery Johnson. 3 seconds to shoot. Johnson with the running hook. And Larry Johnson takes the rebound. Camby missed it, and the rebound to Duncan.
Did you see on that last possession, Avery Johnson was looking around for the shot clock. He couldn't find it. He had to look at New York's end to try to find it.
Duncan has it poked away. Ball out of bounds, touched last by the Knicks. Through the thicket of bodies, he couldn't see the San Antonio shot clock in the corner. He looked all the way back the other way. You're right. They have 12 on the 24 now, and they ask for time. 5:35 to play in the fourth. Knicks trying to stay alive, up 3.
Now for a taste of good.
Go here in the fourth quarter. You see where the shot clocks are. They are in the corner. And Avery Johnson, as he came across with that left hand, there were so many bodies there, he could not see his shot clock. You're going to see him look over his shoulder at the other end. Now watch his eyes. Look, where is the time? Oh, I'm in trouble. I better get a shot. And he gets a tough shot at the basket. That's why these guys get so trained to where that shot clock is that he had a real problem there. Coming out of that timeout, Jim Gray said, Jeff Van Gundy said, anybody but Duncan beat us.
Jaren Jackson is short with it. Robinson, though, on the offensive glass. And then he's fouled as he takes it to the rack. 3 on Camby.
Second shot. Tough shot by Jaren Jackson. David Robinson with the offensive rebound. Remember now in game 4, he had 9 offensive rebounds, so he will go to the line to shoot 2.
If he hits the next, it's a 1-point game. 5:28 remaining. San Antonio is down to 2 timeouts. The Knicks have 4. Neither side has a 20 left. Jaren Jackson out. Sean Elliott quickly back in. 71-70. Sprewell out of the double to Johnson. Around the perimeter to Houston. Johnson again. Thought about a 3. Instead drives the lane. Lays it up for Camby for the slam.
San Antonio was so concerned about Larry Johnson shooting a 3. They ran at him and let him drive the ball to the basket. He found Camby.
Robinson goes to the right hand and goes to the line on top of it with a chance to tie the game.
Ahmad Rashad said to us out of that timeout, Popovich said, go inside and don't give the ball up so quickly. Make them double team. You see David Robinson had one thing on his mind, got away with a little jump step there in the 3-point play opportunity as he got fouled. But look for them to continue to pound that ball inside until New York double teams and force them to give the ball up.
Can't complete the 3-point play. The foul on Camby was his 4th. Knicks still with the 1-point edge. And they want a timeout. Each team will be over the limit with its next foul. Sprewell, 5 seconds to shoot. Sprewell deals out to Johnson for 3. Way off. Ellie chases it down.
Not even close on that shot. That's why I think you've got to close out quietly on him and make him continue to shoot. That lost all confidence. Bob, 2 of 16 now in this series.
Mario Ellie in the paint, but it's short. Sprewell, guarded by Elliott, fires over him.
Defense by Sean Elliott. That's the shot you want him to take. You don't want him to drive the ball to the basket. What a tough shot by Sprewell.
33 points. Duncan out of the double to Ellie. Tries to tie him and does.
Going back to Sprewell in the post, a little cross screen here to try to get him the ball. Actually, Allen Houston breaks the play and takes it himself.
He's been quiet for a while. Speaking of Houston, Sprewell with 8 on the shot clock. Johnson screening for him. It'll be Sprewell leaning in, drawing the contact, and the foul goes against Duncan. It's Tim's 2nd.
Well, Duncan had done everything right that time except the last minute he reached in. And all he has to do is square him up and say, you know what, you're going to shoot the shot. But watch his hands. When you reach in right there, you're going to get the foul.
Sprewell with 34 points, 24 of them. Just as I was about to say, the graphics department's too quick. 24 in the second half. for Avery Johnson. Exactly 3 minutes left. 10 on the shot clock. Mario Elliott. Houston hounding him. 5 seconds to shoot. Duncan unleashes at 3. It's off, but Sprewell can't corral it, and the Spurs will set it up again. Just off Sprewell's fingertips. Duncan got low. It was rejected by Canby, but there's a foul.
See, they got the ball from side to side that time. They got the ball to the weak side off the screen roll. And look how deep Duncan gets the ball in the post. When he gets it here, Larry Johnson's going to foul him. Canby comes over and blocks the shot, but too late.
And the foul on Johnson is his 5th. Duncan looks to tie it, but won't on this trip.
Now remember, one of the things in the regular season, Duncan and Robinson were both below 70% free throw shooters. So if you get into a foul shooting contest here late, you would have to favor New York.
1-point game. To the hoop. The ball is pinned between the rim and the glass, and that means a jump ball.
If you're going to go give help on Sprewell, you better get there quickly. He turns that corner, and look at Robinson and Duncan both there. Jump ball. Now, with that situation, you can choose who you want to jump. So it'll be David Robinson and Canby. Canby is very quick off his feet. See if he can tip that ball back.
Coming to you. If there's something, go with it right away, but do not hold the ball. There is only 11 seconds left on the clock. Bob?
Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. No fouls to give for either side.
Allen Houston's only taken 1 shot in this 4th quarter. That's been a miss. They're laying right off of Childs and not letting him enter the ball to him.
Latrell around Duncan. Lost the handle for a moment. 3 seconds to shoot. They don't know it. Childs heaves it toward the hoop. Hits the side of the glass. And what a time for a 24-second violation.
See, when you get in a situation where you start holding that ball against the clock, that plays so much into what San Antonio wants to do. And you know they're coming down. It's either going to go to Duncan or Robinson. If they double team now, watch Elliott or Ellie for a critical 3-point shot attempt.
Mario Ellie looking for Duncan. He has it against Johnson. They swing it around to Avery Johnson. The bounce to Robinson into the lane with the hook that's way off. 1:25 remaining. Ten seconds to shoot.
Mismatch Sprewell in the post.
Back out to Johnson. Can he hit a 3? He cannot. The Knicks have only 11 three-pointers in the entire series.
Minute to go, elimination game. Can New York hold them off?
Sean Elliott. Avery Johnson. Big hoop for Avery Johnson. The Spurs by 1. Avery Johnson, undrafted, bounced around the NBA, cut twice by the Spurs before sticking the 3rd time. A 5'3" high school senior, the last man on his high school team, grew 8 inches in the next couple of years to get to 5'11".
And how often have we seen teams say, Avery Johnson, you have to make shots in the 4th quarter. In the entire playoff series, all the rounds, he's been able to do that. The double team, Sean Elliott looks like he wants to shoot it and doesn't take that shot, the hesitation. And then he finds Avery Johnson on the baseline, the rotation from New York. Once they came out of the double team, no one found Avery Johnson. And a critical possession now for New York. They're down 1, but watch out of the double team. Now the ball's going to come to Sean Elliott. Latrell Sprewell goes back into the double team, and let's see what he does after he gets out of the double team. Here's Sprewell, and here is Avery Johnson right here. And let's see right now if they can find him out of the double team. Now watch Sprewell. He comes back across the floor. He gets confused. And in that little confusion, Avery Johnson spots up and gets the jump shot.
Left alone, Avery Johnson hit what may turn out to be the biggest basket of his long career. This is his 11th year in the NBA, 34 years old, out of Little Southern University. Doubted his entire career. One of his opponents, Damon Stoudemire, said only about a year ago, no team with Avery Johnson as its point guard will ever win the NBA championship. The Spurs are close, and if they do it along the way, Johnson outplayed and eliminated Stoudemire and the Trailblazers.
Well, you can see Latrell Sprewell's tried to do it by himself. No Allen Houston there. Only one attempt in this fourth period. And also, Allen Houston missed that little free throw there that would have, on the illegal defense, that would have made it a tie game right now. So you'd have the ball with a chance to go up rather than be on that odd point.
And what about the three that Houston swished, which was waved off because his heel was on the end line just before the release? All right, here we go. Childs to Sprewell. Off the dribble against Elliott. Lets it go. The scoring spree does not continue. And Avery Johnson, perhaps appropriately, has it.
Bob, I can't see the shot clock, but I think they're going to have to foul. I don't know how much disparity. It's about a 3-second differential. They're taking a real chance here if they let this burn out.
It's David Robinson. Robinson spinning to the basket. Muscles up. No whistle. But he got it back. Now they have to come foul. They unleash the shot, and Johnson chases it down and calls a timeout with 1.4. The ball never got to the rim, I guess, and the 24-second clock continued to run.
Well, it hit the rim, Bob, as the shot clock had not gone off. So Avery Johnson's shot hit the rim. It went to the corner, so the clock then recycled. And then when he picked it up, time went off the clock.
But why would Johnson have taken the shot he did?
Because the clock was winding down.
Well, that was my point.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's what happens now. The shot is winding, the clock is winding down because David Robinson's shot did not hit the rim. So when he kicks it out, he shoots a desperation shot to beat the clock. It hits the rim. This is great by Avery Johnson. It hits the rim. Now you recycle that shot clock. Now here's another second goes off the clock, and that's what I was talking with, only a 3-second differential. Now New York is down to 1.4 with this clock.
But they restored 7/10 of a second, and now it's at 2.1.
We were saying the same thing there, Bob. I wasn't sure why you said Avery Johnson took that shot or why the clock didn't recycle. But he had to get that up to try to beat the shot clock because David Robinson didn't hit the rim.
Yeah, we were making the same point, but in the frenzy.
Well, you know what? It's hard. I'm so trained to look up at the shot clock. I can't find it either, so I know what the players must be feeling.
Why didn't the Knicks foul?
Well, that's what I'd said when they were bringing it up, because you run the risk if you don't get that rebound that the game is going to be over. Number one. Number two, if you foul and they make them both, there's still a 3 will put you in a position to tie. If they miss one, a 2 ties it. So, you know, Jeff Van Gundy was gambling on the fact they could stop them, get the rebound, and still have enough time to get a shot.
Latrell Sprewell, 35 points in the game. 25 of them in the second half. Allen Houston, 16 points, none of them in this fourth quarter.
Now the ball comes to half court. New York can move it to half court. If you're San Antonio, you want everything being passed away from the basket towards the middle court, so they have to catch it and come back and get it. Nothing in the middle, nothing down the sidelines where they can catch and shoot. Make them come back and get it and have to put it on the floor and use some time.
2.1 seconds to an NBA title for the Spurs, or to a Game 6 Sunday night in San Antonio. Spurs 78, Knicks 77. Ward will throw it in. Delay of game call. And they'll set it back up. Ward to a James Sprewell. He's underneath. The San Antonio Spurs have won their first NBA championship. 26 years coming, and the Knicks made the
Knicks team and their effort.
They tried to spring
podium, the San Antonio Spurs, co-owners, Peter Holt, Juliana Holt, general manager, coach, Greg Popovich, co-captains, David Robinson and Avery Johnson somewhere. And now for the presentation, here's NBA Commissioner David Stern.
Thank you to the Spurs and the Knicks for giving us a great series. Congratulations to the New York Knicks and their fans for this season and this very exciting run. To the San Antonio Spurs, it was a spectacular series. To them, their fans, to their fans across America, congratulations, 1999 NBA champion, San Antonio Spurs.
For the city of San Antonio, a great ride. What's this mean to the city?
Oh, it means everything to our great fans who've hung with us for 26 years, the great owners that have owned this team for 26 years. Nothing better, nothing better.
And a historical win, Juliana, because the first ABA team to win an NBA championship.
Absolutely. I want to thank God for this fabulous team and the chance to be associated with such extraordinary gentlemen and most fantastic ball players of all time.
All right, congratulations. David Robinson. David. Co-captain David Robinson. You've been through many coaches, many changes, and finally an NBA championship. What's it mean to you?
I'll tell you, to me this is just a journey that just goes to show that hard work and persistence pays off, baby. I love these guys, and I tell you what, one thing I learned to do this year was trust the Lord through the whole thing. He blessed me, he blessed his team, he took us to the top, and if you learn anything from this, baby, learn that the Lord doesn't give up on his people, baby. He takes you all the way.
All right, Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson. Here's the man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Everybody said, Avery, that you couldn't lead a team to a championship. Those days are over with now.
Little big man.
Yes, we're just so thankful for this opportunity. My teammates, they believe in me. Pop believes in me. The Lord Jesus believes in me, and that gives me a lot of confidence.
All right, congratulations to you. All right, now it's time for our presentation of the Finals MVP Award. And to make that presentation, once again, David Stern.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me in applauding a spectacular athlete, a terrific young man who averaged 27 points and 14 rebounds to be the most valuable player of the 1999 NBA Finals, Tim Duncan.
That I've seen you show throughout this entire playoffs. But this has got to mean something for you.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, everybody,
man, this is incredible.
In the league, all of a sudden, you win the MVP award.
This is incredible. It feels so great out here. The teammates came out here, and we had a tough game tonight. We pulled it out. We kept our focus throughout. We wanted to finish it now, and we did. We did a great job with it.
All right, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back over to Bob Costas.
Well, the Knicks used their last-second miracles in earlier series. Houston versus the Heat. Larry Johnson, the impossible four-point play against the Pacers. Tonight, the law of averages and the Spurs caught up with New York. Amazing achievement by an 8th seed to make it this far. And let's not lose sight of how good a team it was that beat the New York Knicks in 5. The Spurs went 15-2 in the playoffs, just blitzed through the best teams in the league, and they were 8-1 on the road in the playoffs.
Well, Bob, you know, we talk about Duncan and Robinson, and they were the main men, but there's no question the supporting cast. Tonight, Duncan and Robinson, 47 points. They were in the 40s the entire series. Tonight, 31 points for the supporting cast. Anytime they scored 30 or more, they won. The day they had 23, they lost. So you got to give it's a team effort.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks very much, Doug. For Hannah and Pete and Bill, Isaiah, Jim Gray, Ahmad Rashad, Doug Collins, I'm Bob Costas. Congratulations to the San Antonio Spurs. Winners tonight, 78-77. Winners of the series in 5. Champions of the NBA.